Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a very interesting light from Nextorch. This is the UT22 multifunction warning light. And full disclosure, Nextorch actually sent this light over to me so I can test it out and then review it and do this video so you guys can see what it's all about. And I'm happy to inform you that this is a really awesome light. It has a lot of really cool features and technology that I had never seen in a light before. Now, with that being said, I've been testing this light for a couple of months now, primarily at my home. And the reason for it is because of the usage of this light. So I want to, start off the video by saying that because even though this is a really cool light, I think it's more geared towards folks that are in law enforcement, maybe military, maybe security, and it's just because of the features on it. So with that being said, just make sure that if you do pick up this light and you intend to use it, make sure you use it responsibly. So I will leave a link in the description where you guys can pick it up if you guys are interested. So again, this is the UT22 from Nextorch. As you guys can see, it is a pretty interesting form factor on the light there. It has pretty much LEDs all around it in the front and everything, and it has some really cool features. You can tell that Nextorch put a lot of thought process behind the light. How to make the features work, and then also who it's going to be intended for. So in the back, it just gives you a little bit of information as far as the light goes and how to wear it and things like that. What's also really cool is that they did include a lot of accessories to allow you to position this light in many different ways. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Pull this out real quick. All right, so there is the light, and you have a little accessory bag here. We'll set that off to the side. There we go. All right, so let's take a look at the accessories that come inside of this bag here. First and foremost, this is a rechargeable light, and it does use a USB Type-C charging plug. So they do include that. If I can get this bag open. There we go. They do include the charging cable here, so again, USB-C to USB-A there. It is fairly short, but again, at least they include it, which is really nice. There is also a clip right here which attaches to the light, and you can use this to clip this onto like a piece of clothing or something like that. I'll show you guys how that works. And then last but not least is you do have an instruction manual here. And I always recommend that you read the instructions, especially on lights that have multiple modes and things like that. So I would recommend that you check this one out. They made it really easy with this quick start guide down here, so you can kind of see the different features and the different options and stuff like that. But so you do have two flashing modes on here. You have flash mode 1, the runtime is for 20 hours, and then flash mode 2 is 22 hours. And then you also have a white light, which is 11 lumens, and it's good for 25 hours. So that is the three different lighting options on the UT22 here. So I'm going to set this off to the side, but I'll leave it open here so I can reference it because I want to make sure that I provide you guys with all the information, because there's a lot to be able to do with this light here. So it's actually Velcroed here on this cardboard piece, so I'll take that off. And taking a look at the light itself, as I mentioned, you have a lot of really different options that you can mount this light on different things. So the first one being this Velcro strip here. So if you have a piece of equipment that you want to attach this light via Velcro, you can go ahead and use this strap right here. So if you want to attach it to like maybe a vest or a backpack or something like that, you can use that, and it's a pretty long piece of Velcro, which is really good, and it'll allow you to attach the light that way. So I'll go ahead and remove the Velcro strap here, and as you guys can see here, I'll go ahead and remove this piece also so you guys can get a better look at it. There's a little clamp in the bottom there, and it just slides out. So this piece right here is a webbing clip. So this will allow you to mount it onto like MOLLE webbing or any type of webbing on a backpack or something like that, or even a vest. As you can see, you have on all four sides where you can attach this. So depending what orientation you want the light to slide into these channels, you can go ahead and use that webbing clip as well. And then on the bottom portion right here, you do have a, this is the piece that will attach to either the webbing clip, or if you have a duty helmet that has railings on the side or something like that, you can go ahead and use that portion to attach on there. So again, it's constructed to be able to mount it that way. So the thought process is those type of folks that are going to be using this light will probably be wearing that type of equipment. So on this helmet clip, the clip is actually magnetic. So, or I'm sorry, the light is magnetic, and it does attach. It has a little piece of metal in there, and it does attach pretty securely on there. So this is not going to fall off whatsoever. So you do have the clips on the sides, but also you have a little bit of a magnetic attachment portion there as well. So on here, as you guys can see, there's a little arrow here that goes up and down, and then it points up to lock and down to unlock. So if you actually push this down, or pull this down I should say, this portion will come off, and then you can go ahead and slide your clip here. Again, it does have those arrows as well. So you insert it into the bottom piece and then slide up to lock, and then now it's locked in place. And then you can go ahead and attach the light onto there, and then clip this onto a piece of either equipment or clothing or something like that, and it makes it easier to kind of take off and on if you need to do that. So really, really cool. So I'll go ahead and take this off. So as you can see, a lot of different mounting options with the UT22 here, which is really, really awesome. So taking a look at the light itself, it is made of plastic, which makes it pretty lightweight, but it does feel pretty good construction. You do have LEDs in the front right here, and then you have LEDs all around. And then in the bottom here, you have this one LED, which is going to be your white LED, which again, you'll have 11 lumens, good for 25 hours on a full charge battery. Now, in the back here, you have your USB-C charging port. And if you remove the cap, there it is, USB-C. So with that cap there, it makes it waterproof, which is really nice. And then you do have some impact resistance. So if this were to fall or something like that, it's still rated to be able to support that. As I mentioned, you do have magnetic or magnets in the back here, which again, if you need to attach it to a metallic surface, or if you needed to use this as a warning light, or to be seen, and you want to put it like onto a vehicle or something like that, you can go ahead and do that as well, which again gives you yet another way of mounting the light itself. Now, in order to activate the light, you do have one button here. Now this button is going to serve all the purposes, so it's going to turn the light on and off. It's going to set a couple different modes that it has, and then it's going to cycle through the different light options as well. So if you press and hold for 1 second, the light will turn on, and as you guys can see, you have the flashing mode 1, which is these red and blue strobes that flash all around the 360 degrees on the light here. So again, this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, is you just want to make sure that you're within the right laws and all that for where you live. So I know sometimes red and blue flashing lights are specific to like law enforcement, maybe military, law enforcement, security, things like that. So you don't want to use this in the wrong instance and then get into trouble by doing that. So just make sure that you're following your local laws. But you press and hold the button for 1 second, you'll have the strobe there, the flashing lights. Then if you press it again, now you'll have the lights flashing in the front here. So again, you have a sequence of red and blue there, and it flashes on and off. And then if you press it again, you'll have that light at the bottom here. Now you only have it at the bottom pointing down. So this is perfect if you have this mounted like on a vest or on your uniform or something like that, and you need some light, like if you're filling out some paperwork or documents, then this will give you some light, like maybe you're inside of your vehicle trying to fill that information out. That'll give you more than enough light to be able to do that. And then if you press it again, it'll just go ahead and cycle through that the different flashing modes. Again, 360, then the front, and then the white light at the bottom. So if you press and hold for 1 second, it turns it off, and you're ready, and it's pretty much sitting there. Now, those are the regular light outputs. Now, besides that, and this is where I was pretty excited to see what it could do, the UT22 actually has a couple different modes. They have a mode that is called gravity sensor. So what that does is it understands the orientation of the light, and then it shines the light based on that orientation. So I know that sounds kind of weird me saying it, so I'll go ahead and show you guys. So if you press it for 1 second, it turns the light on as I did before. And then if you press and hold for 3 seconds, you'll see that it flashes, and then now it is in gravity mode. So if it's sitting horizontally like this, then it knows that obviously what's supposed to flash is the 360-degree portion there. But if it ever goes vertical, now that portion turns off, and now you have the front lights flashing. And again, you go back to horizontal, and then back to vertical. So I thought that was really cool. I have never really seen a flashlight that does that, or a light that does that, I would say. But it's really cool because, again, if you have it on your uniform and you take it off and you set it down on your dash or something like that, it knows that it's sitting this way now, so to use those lights, because again, if not, it would be flashing up. And then if you put it back on, now it knows that it's the front lights there. So that, I thought that was really cool. To get out of that mode, all you have to do is just press and hold, again, for 3 seconds. And it'll flash. As you saw, the red lights flash, which means it is out of that mode. So if I were to lay it down or anything like that, it's not going to go into that mode. And then press and hold for 1 second, and it'll turn the light off. So that was, I thought it was really, really cool. Now the other mode that it has, which was really interesting, and I can obviously see why they would include it in this light and this form factor, is a temporary on and off switch. So what that means is that if you have the light, let's say you have the light on you, it's clipped onto you or something like that. Let's do the front one here. Let's say you're wearing gloves and you don't want to turn the light off. You can actually just double tap it and it turns it off. Then if you want to turn it back on, double tap it again and it turns on. So I thought that was a really cool option because, again, if you are wearing gloves or if you just can't get to that button, you have it attached to your uniform or your vest or something like that, just double tap it, turns it off. If you're inside the vehicle and then now you need to come out and you need to be able to be seen, double tap it and then it'll turn back on, and now the light is working. Obviously, if you want to cycle through which output it will be, just press the button. But if you have it on this one, the 360 degrees, it'll work that way as well. And then double tap it again and it turns back on. And again, just press and hold it for 1 second and it turns off, and there it is. So as you guys can see, the UT22 has a lot of really, really awesome features. Like I mentioned, I think Nextorch definitely put a lot of thought into what the light was used for, who it was geared towards, and the different features that it offered in order to be able to satisfy that clientele, along with all the different mounting options. They did include pretty much everything that you're going to need to mount this light in different circumstances, different locations. So if you need to mount it on a helmet, on your clothing, on a webbing, on Velcro, you have all those options covered. And again, you do have the magnets in the back, so if you need to mount it like on a vehicle, you can go ahead and do that. And then, it's going to be there whenever you need it. So I think it's a really awesome light. But again, just make sure that if you do decide to pick one of these up, and let me tell you, if you are into flashlights, if you're into lights, I would definitely recommend that you pick one of these up to have it as part of your gear, is to make sure that you're using it for the right reasons, for the right applications. So again, if you have any type of local laws that don't allow you to use red and blue flashing or blinking lights or strobing lights, just make sure that you abide by those rules. All right. So as I mentioned, I'll leave a link below to where you can go ahead and pick one of these up, or if you're interested in finding out some more information about this light or any other lights available from Nextorch, go ahead and check that out. Again, this is the UT22 multifunction warning light from Nextorch. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.